Good evening, this is Mayor Shave. It's Wednesday, March 8th, 2023 at 6:30 PM. And I call the Aberdeen City Council meeting to order. Deputy City Clerk, will you please take a roll call?
Ellis. Here. Brancy.
Here.
Gaken.
Here.
Catchman. Lawrence.
Here.
Mackey. Morrison. Here. Marchini. Here. Ross.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Sedor.
Here.
Taylor. Shave.
Here.
Thank you.
I move that we excuse council members Mackey and Taylor. I second.
Motion was made seconded to excuse council members Mackey and Taylor. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Will you all please join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I move we approve tonight's agenda.
Motion was made and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I'll move to public comments. Anything that public wants to comment on, come up to the podium over there and identify yourself, please.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Kevin Mile, and I live here in Aberdeen. I'm homeless. Pledge of Allegiance is a pretty powerful thing, right? Liberty and justice for all. Think about that for a second, because all of my possessions were picked up and thrown in the trash the other day because they said it was in a place being not worthy down by Tent City. I was in front of some barriers that, quite frankly, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be in front of. There's no posted signs that say, if you put your tent here, it will be disposed of. There are no signs that say where you can and cannot place your tents. I'm new. I had a guitar in my tent that was from my father who passed away last year. That's priceless to me. I had just got my money for my ABD benefits. I had cash in my pocket of my coat that was thrown away. My food, my clothing, all of my basic needs basically have been stripped. Now, I don't see any justice in that. And I'm not the only one it's happened to. There are countless others. A girl was lifted up in her tent just like a week or two ago, picked up, and when they realized they had someone in the tent, they dropped her. It's not right. It's not fair, and it's not humane. We're people too. I'm not some unintelligent junkie just walking around on the streets. I'm very coherent, and I see what's going on. I have a vocabulary, and I plan to use it
1 minute.
because these are people. They deserve to live too. And I understand that there are some unfavorables. There are everywhere. I bet there's a couple in this crowd here. We just don't know it. So, yeah, it's dirty down there. I agree. They need to clean it up. There's no reason to live like that. I don't like to live like that. I don't live like that. I kept my tent clean. I kept everything around it picked up. I spent 4 hours for 3 days breaking trash because I didn't like the way it looked down there.
10
And there's
seconds.
There's others like me. And I'm just saying that I feel like I should be reimbursed for the things that I've lost. And I will be happy to go wherever I'm told to go. That is safe and correct. But there needs to be signage, there needs to be information out there for people so that things like this don't happen. And I would like, you all to take that into consideration.
Time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Public comments? Anyone else want anything to say? All right, seeing none. We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Yeah, tonight's consent agenda contains minutes from our prior meeting on February 22nd, our accounts payable, payroll, and homeless report. And I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Motion was made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Do you need a roll call for that one? with payroll? We did.
Aye.
Okay.
Not on the, not when it's in a consent agenda. Okay, motion carried. Moving on to mayor's report, I don't have anything right now. So we'll move on to council reports. Anyone on the council? Okay. City staff reports.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lisa Scott, Community Development Director for the City of Aberdeen. You will find, I'm going to read a letter to you. I sent it all via email tonight, so you have it along with the backup and attachments. I sent it to the clerk too, so that if anybody's interested, it can be posted online. The Community Development Department is comprised of 4 divisions: the Building, Code Compliance, Planning, and Property Maintenance. The Building Division during 2022 continued to foster an atmosphere that is conducive to development and construction. The division is responsible for reviewing construction plans for compliance with building, plumbing, mechanical, energy, and barrier-free design codes and ordinances, and issuing permits for new and remodel construction projects. The inspectors conducted structural, plumbing, mechanical, and plan reviews for all construction projects totaling 2,171 permits in 2022. The Code Compliance Division received and investigated 825 nuisance complaints during 2022 concerning the condition of private property. Most of the nuisance complaints, as in previous years, continue to deal with garbage, overgrown vegetation, parking, and people living in recreational vehicles. And I have also attached those statistics for you so you can see what cases have been closed throughout the year, as well as the ones that are continuing to be open. The Planning Division conducted 13 boundary line adjustment, 5 SEPA checklists, 2 shoreline applications, 5 shoreline exemptions, 4 conditional use permits, 16 variances, and over 1,000 critical area reviews. The division also must review and sign off on all building permits for zoning compliance. The Property Maintenance Division was responsible for licensing 457 rentals and performing 103 inspections of rentals in 2022. Of note, the city issued a total of 10 new single-family dwellings and 4 new manufactured homes. This is a big change for Aberdeen, as many may remember Aberdeen would go years without any new construction permits. Notable commercial construction permitted in 2022 included Grace Harbor College and AGP. As a department, we took in a total of $984,190 in permit revenues and expended $490,848 in expenses, including payroll. It's one of the few years we've been able to actually contribute back to the general fund rather than just pull out continually. This department also administers the city's abatement program. Under the abatement program, most of the activity in 2022 was due to fire damaged structures. Staff has been very diligent in working with property owners to not only abate their own structures, but to also encourage remodeling where appropriate, which results in a savings to the city in the end. In 2022, the city abated a total of 6 structures. So we always say how busy we are. That's kind of our year-end report. And again, you'll have all of the backup documentation so that you can review that. And if you have any questions, please at any time come and contact me. Also included in the packet, I put in our 2023, what our department is looking at accomplishing in the year, as well as where we sit so far for January and February in revenue. And we're just shy of $150,000 in permit revenue in those 2 months. It has been an extremely busy. We had one of the biggest Februaries we've ever had. So we continue to see growth, and those numbers aren't specifically tied to one individual project. There's a lot of construction and new home construction still continuing to go on. So those are encouraging indicators we're finding. And again, I continue to be cautiously optimistic that this will be 2023 will be a good year for the city of Aberdeen. So thank you. And do you have any questions?
Thank you. Good report.
Very good.
City administrator's report. Do you have a report tonight?
Yes, our survey that we currently have out for the business community will close on Friday. I would like to reassure the community that there will be one specific to everyone that's living within the community, and that also includes the homeless, the unhoused population. So keep a lookout on that. We're fine-tuning that, and that comes from our homeless response committee. I would also like to call out the hard work of Lisa Nicholas, Dave Nelson, Jolene Springer, Lexi Portman, and Louis Kozar, as they were part of the water service project team. And so they did some really great work for the city in kind of recovering some of the money that customers were in arrearage over during the pandemic. And so I just would really like to thank their work. I'm very proud of the work they've done. And also the new city newsletter has launched for March and April, and that is found in the utility bills this month. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. All right, moving on to requests for council action. Start with the Finance Committee, Councilmember Pertuni.
The Finance. We have a request from Finance Committee and the IT Department requesting that the City Council authorize the purchase and install of the Abnormal Security Program. It's a phishing protection system for the city email. And I motion that we approve this request.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to approve this request. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to Public Safety Chair report by Councilmember Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. Our Public Safety Committee met this evening at 5:45, and I'll just briefly report from each chief. Starting with the fire department, the call statistics for the month of February were 543, total for the year is 1,027. EMS responses for homeless, over 69. Fire responses for the homeless, there were 8, for a total response count in the month of February of 92. Overdose response data for January and February was 29. The fire service specialist reported made 67 public contacts, and the staffing update for the fire department, they have 4 vacant positions. They'll be doing an entry-level firefighter paramedic exam in early April. Moving on to the police department, their activity report for February, or for the year, is 5,605 calls for this year. That's just down slightly from last year, but still a lot of calls. And their officers have responded to 44 overdoses this year compared to 15 at this point in 2022. They have 9 applicants for police officer candidates that they're working through the process. They still have 5 vacancies, so that's promising that we have people working through the system. Greatest Harbor 911 is currently training 3 new telecommunicators, with 3 more getting hired at the end of the month. 2 previous dispatchers will be coming back to work some part-time fill-in shifts soon. So this is really good news for our 911. We've been down for a long time in numbers. And there are now 8 APD drone pilots that are fully trained and certified by the FFA and ready to deploy. So they've created a robust policy and 12-page procedures manual to give them guidance. So they're excited to get that program running. So that's all for public safety this evening. We don't have anything on the agenda.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Works, Chair report by Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works has 3 items on the agenda tonight. They're all public hearings. We have a public hearing to receive comment on the 2023 Stormwater Management Program Plan and Plan Adoption. I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to open the public hearing on Stormwater Management Program Plan. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is now open. If anybody wishes to speak on this subject, please come up to the podium.
Seeing none, I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is closed.
Mayor, Public Works has a public hearing to receive comment on the Stormwater Management Action Plan and Plan Adoption. I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to open this public hearing on the action plan for stormwater management. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is open. Anyone wishing to speak on this, please come up to the podium. Seeing none.
Seeing none, I move we close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is closed.
Mayor, there is a public hearing on the proposed vacation of a portion of Tecumseh Street within Block 12 of the plat of North Aberdeen, consistent with Resolution 2023-01. I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to open the public hearing on the proposed vacation of a portion of Tecumseh Street. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this, please come up to the podium. Identify yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is David Harrington. I have a question about that. Is that the Laura Street vacation?
Yes.
I have vague questions about it. One is there a reason for vacating it? And then who would want to vacate it, that kind of thing? So can anybody respond to that?
Rick Sanger.
So point of order, Mayor, although we can relax the order, but just so we can answer questions if we choose to, but mostly a public hearing is for taking comment. So, but if the answer is readily available, we can provide it, but it's not a give and take kind of conversational situation at a public hearing. But I think if the Public Works Director is prepared to answer that and has the answer, I'm happy to provide it.
How about whose idea was it?
The adjacent property owner is entitled to request to purchase unused right of way.
Okay, that's all I need. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to close the public hearing. Any
Thank you, sir.
discussion?
I just want to thank you for letting me enforce the rules, if you would.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is closed.
That's all from Public Works.
Okay, next item on the agenda is an ordinance resolution.
Yeah, for special agenda items, we have a couple of things tonight, and under ordinances and resolutions, we have a resolution adopting the newly created mission statement, values, and strategies of the city of Aberdeen, and I move that we approve this resolution.
I second it.
Motion was made and seconded to approve the resolution. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This will be resolution 2023-10.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is, the special agenda is contracts.
Yes, did you want me to present that one, Councilmember Shaw? This is Public Works.
I don't know, I have a new order of business, is that
No,
what we want to
it's-
do?
special agenda items usually are read by the council president.
I can read it, okay. We might just have
It's
this
not a
out of order on the
special-
agenda.
It's a contract, not a special
Yeah.
item, it's a,
Go
I
ahead
just
and take
didn't
it.
label it generally. I apologize, didn't mark it.
So under contracts, we have a request from Public Works and the Public Works Director recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to award the contract and execute the consulting services agreement with HDR Incorporated in the maximum amount of $159,367 to complete the design of US 101 Safety Improvement Project. I move we adopt this report.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded to adopt this report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Is there anything else for the council tonight? Seeing, Councilmember Ellis.
Thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge that today is International Women's Day. And today we celebrate the diversity and strength of women around the world. Whether we are mothers, daughters, sisters, or friends, we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society. Let us stand together, lift each other up, and fight for a world where women can thrive and succeed in all areas of life. Thank you.
Here, here.
Mayor?
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Shaw.
I want to piggyback on that and just share a recollection. As I sit here tonight, I see 6 female council members and a female city administrator and a female deputy clerk. When I first started coming up to City Hall as a reporter for the Daily World in the 1980s, the editor and publisher at the newspaper got pushback on, why are you sending a girl up here? So, congratulations, ladies.
Here, here.
Anyone else? Councilmember Pericini.
I would just like to thank the 2 guests that came up and spoke. It's really hard to come up and speak in an open room and share your heart, and I just appreciate both of you, and we welcome people to come and speak. We want to hear from the community, and thank you.
All right, thank you. We'd like to speak with you after the meeting.
He needs to catch a bus at 7:30 to get to the cold weather shelter.
I'd be glad to miss that.
It would just take a minute. Okay. Anything else from the council?
Can I talk about this?
Yeah, Katie has something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask Councilmember Ross to jump in as well. But I attended a presentation earlier today from the Downtown Aberdeen Association. They came to Rotary and they were talking about the Main Street Tax Credit Incentive Program. And basically, you can provide a donation to the Main Street organization in lieu of your B&O taxes. So you provide the donation, let's say you give $1,000 or you pledge to do so this year. Next year, you receive a $750 tax credit, so you get 75% of that back in a tax credit. And there's also other opportunities, because you're making a donation, consult your tax advisor, but there's other ways that you can maximize your tax benefits. And some businesses find that through that donation, they're actually getting a little bit of money back through their taxes as well and being whole or money ahead on it. And then the money that you pledge towards this year, you get the credit for next year, and then it benefits our downtown Main Street. So if you'd like to help keep your tax dollars local, this is a really great way to do that. You need to log in and make your pledge by the end of this month, and you have to send a check in to the Downtown Aberdeen Association by the end of the year. So if your business is seasonal, and let's say you're a restaurant that makes a lot of money in the summer, you can pledge right now, but make your donation in the summer. And then you get that benefit for next year, and you can take that B&O tax credit benefit anytime during the next year as well. So if you're seasonal and you're really slow in the winter, you can take that credit in the winter and be a little bit money ahead on that as well. So if you need any assistance with that, feel free to contact the Downtown Aberdeen Association, or if you reach out to me or Councilmember Ross, who's the council representative for that, we can help get you in the hands of somebody that can assist with that as well. But just a really good way to save some money and keep it local instead of Olympia and beyond. So I have one thing here. I know Councilmember Ross has some too, and we're happy to get some more. But I was just really inspired by the presentation today and thought it was really great for our business owners to know about.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? There being no further business,
I move we adjourn.
if there's no objection, we will adjourn.
Wow, record time.
Our new agenda. What
So,
you doing?
I'm sorry.